And your hair loss, as
yeah,
well.
my hair was falling out.
Yeah.
It was falling out, but my hair grew back. It grew back longer. It's coming back faster. My nails are actually growing fast too, which never
nice
really
and
happened.
strong as well.
Have brittle nails, yeah.
Yeah.
If I go through this, you can't have something without struggling, right? So I knew this was my struggle, and then I'd have something much better at the end of it. I'd have my health back. With my cravings, I'd just go straight to fruit because fruit was sweet and it made me feel better that I was eating. And then I would think in my head, it's going to flush out all the bad. Eating good is going to take out all the bad. So that made me feel better. I had a support team, so I had you to talk to. You knew what I was going through, so there's no limits to whatever I do. I have more energy. I can achieve more, and it's just my mind. I can achieve. I set limits for myself before because I didn't notice what I had. It's always tired, but now I'd sleep 12 hours, but I can stay awake all day and not sleep at night. That's how much energy I have now, which is nice.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. We've got Jasmeen here who's going to share with us her testimonial, how she has overcome her illness, ulcerative colitis, through a plant-based diet. And I think she's been on a pretty massive journey. I think she said early on to me that she had symptoms when she was 7 years old, so that was quite a while ago, and only got diagnosed maybe 2 years ago. But you know, it's been a long journey for her, and I guess I'll hand it over to her and she can explain to you how it was before she had UC. Sorry, when she had UC and when she got diagnosed and things, and she can talk you through that. So I'll hand it over to you, Jasmeen, and yeah, go for it.
Okay, so when I was 7, that's when I first started seeing issues when I was going to the washroom. But my parents, they took me to the doctors, like multiple doctors that couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So throughout the years, I never really got anything that would help me out. Just doctors would give me different medicine, but it never really got rid of the problem. So leading up to like around 16 was when it really got worse. Before that, I was having different issues. It wasn't really related to ulcerative colitis, but I would get different infections in my body, like random infections, which is something that you would get if you have leaky gut or other, And so when I was 16, that's when I started noticing there was blood in my bowel. So that's when I knew there was something really wrong, but I never really got help for it either because I was too embarrassed. I never told my parents, never went to the doctor either. Before that, I would get blood tests, and the doctor would tell me that I had very low iron, so I had sickle cell anemia, which is like the worst anemia you can have. I was very malnourished. My body wasn't absorbing any nutrients because of leaky gut, so it was very hard growing up. I would lose a lot of hair, so I had very thin hair. I still didn't know it was because of ulcerative colitis. So 16 and then 17 was when I kind of went to the doctor. I told them I was having problems, but I didn't exactly tell them that I was losing blood because that's when it stopped. So there was no blood at all. So it went away for a bit, so I thought I was fine. There's nothing wrong with me. It was probably something I ate. So after, I think 17, 18, that's when I got a colonoscopy. The doctor, they just handed me a pamphlet that said, oh, you have ulcerative colitis, here's what you have to take. So I still didn't understand what ulcerative colitis was. Before, I would Google my symptoms, and that's the only reason that pushed me to go to the doctor was Google told me I had cancer, right? So I was very scared. I didn't want to have cancer. That was a very eye-awakening moment. I went to the doctor. He handed me medicine. He gave me steroids. He gave me, what else? It was, I don't know what the medicine was called, but there was just different acid reflux medicine. That's what it was.
Right.
Different medicine that would help me, not cure ulcerative colitis, but just keep my symptoms low, right? My body eventually got immune to the medication, as it would for everyone. So I went back to the doctor after I was done my medicine, but there was still blood, and I said, hey, like, this didn't make my problem go away. So he looked at me and he said, you have to take medicine for life. Like, you have to get refills all the time because this isn't something that's going to go away, which really scared me. It was very sad hearing that. So, every day after that was just dreadful. It made me feel very bad that I have to take so much medication at such a young age, and it wasn't like I was going to get cured. Having ulcerative colitis, you would get other problems leading, because of the disease, there was other problems that were going to occur, and I didn't really want that. So I started Googling different ways to like help me, but I didn't think food would really make a difference, because I did ask my doctor what foods to not eat, if that would help, and my doctor said just eat your medicine and you can eat whatever you want. He didn't say take out dairy, he didn't say take out spicy food. So
Correct. Yeah, that's something that they all kind of say, because I
yeah.
think nutrition is not their forte. They don't really know how to advise on what to eat because they don't study it. So
Exactly.
it's fair enough. I mean, they say what they know.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this happened, and you got the shock of taking medication for life, what did you do about that? And what did you basically say to yourself, and how did you find us, obviously, and then we'll talk about how your journey went.
So I knew medication wasn't the answer. I just had this feeling inside me, like, let food be thy medicine. That's what I've always known. I knew that, but I never knew that I had a small issue, because in my head I thought this is so bad. You would hear that if you have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, that your chances of getting colon cancer was heightened, right? And so that always really scared me. I didn't want to have colon cancer. So I started doing my own research, because it felt like I was at a dead end. Like, if I took medicine, there's no other option for me. So I wanted something else that could be an option. So when I started Googling ulcerative colitis, I saw that different foods have different effects on different people. So dairy was a big issue. Spicy food. I noticed when I ate spicy food, that's when I would have flare-ups. So when I actually went on YouTube, I saw your video and how you cured ulcerative colitis, and I was like, no way, he didn't cure it, right? Because the doctors, I believe doctors, because that's what everyone they would think that doctors have the answer to everything, right? Doctors would say you can't cure it, but you can put it in remission. And so I never had an open mind to following what you taught, but in the back of my head I was like, this is my only option. If I don't take this, then my only other option is medication. So, and I wasn't getting anywhere with medication either, so I decided to just keep watching, and then I noticed how you helped other people, so that was like where the light came on. Like, in my head I was like, I need to do this for myself.
Yeah, cool. And here you are.
Yeah.
Here you
Yeah,
are,
exactly.
isn't
You told me,
yeah.
like, you were teaching how vegan diets can cure ulcerative colitis and other diseases, and I knew that a vegan diet was good, but I didn't know that it could do so much for someone, right?
Yeah, right. So I guess, after you saw the testimonials, you were like, well, let's do this. I mean, you didn't have any other
Exactly,
option,
yeah.
and I guess, when you're in that stage of I've got nothing to lose, you want to go for it, and I guess that's what you did, and you joined our program. And how was the program in 6 months? How was the support and guidance? Talk us through your detox phases that you went through, and how hard was it for you, and how was the support when you were going through that?
Mm-hmm. So when I first started, the hardest part was taking off my medication, right? Like, I didn't want to because I was so scared. Like, what if I take this off and I have more problems, or this doesn't work out for me? Maybe it helps someone else, but it won't help me. That was in the back of my head. I knew I had to do it, and so once I took off my medication, all the symptoms came back. I was having bloody stools. That was very scary for me because I would have the lightheaded feeling. I would have, that dehydrated feeling, right? So once I took off my medication, it wasn't like a good feeling right away. Slowly taking out the food that I was eating before, it was very hard for me too. Letting go of fast food was hard. Letting go of oily food was hard because you're so addicted to like refined sugars too. That was very hard. So because I had anxiety, so when I had anxiety, I'd go straight to refined sugar, right? Because that made me feel better. But I knew that wasn't going to be there, so food was a big problem for me. I felt like I had like an emotional attachment to the food because it would make me feel better, but it was making my health worse.
Yeah. So what did you do about that,
For
and how did you kind of overcome those issues that you had? And I guess talk us through, living, either you wanted to live a life, healthy, or
I
still eat those
knew
foods.
if I go through this, you can't have something without struggling, right? So I knew this was my struggle, and then I'd have something much better at the end of it. I'd have my health back. So with my cravings, I'd just go straight to fruit because fruit was sweet and it made me feel better that I was eating. And then I would think in my head, it's going to flush out all the bad. Eating good is going to take out all the bad. So that made me feel better. I had a support team, so I had you. I had you to talk to. You knew what I was going through, so it wasn't like I didn't have anyone. For my detox, I did have different symptoms. I had acne. I'd wake up in the morning and there'd just be acne on my face, which was, it wasn't the best feeling. Your confidence isn't there when you're detoxing either. I was gaining weight, which was new to me, but it wasn't, a healthy feeling because I was still having the blood. I had rashes. I did have rashes on like my back and my arms, which is weird. What else was happening? My hair
Fevers
actually.
as well. You had fevers.
I had fevers, and
Yeah.
near the end, when I was close to the 6 months, I had a very bad fever. I had more mucus coming out. So much mucus came out. Every time I'd bleed, it would make me feel weird, but I knew that had to come out. That was the bad that was coming out.
And your
So
your
I
hair
had
loss
mucus,
as
I had
well,
blood.
right?
Sorry?
And your hair loss as
Yeah,
well.
my hair was falling out.
Yeah.
It was falling out, but my hair grew back. It grew back longer. It's coming back faster. My nails are actually growing fast too, which never
Nice
really
and
happened. I
strong
used
as
to
well.
have brittle nails. Yeah. What else was happening? Yeah, just a lot of issues that
Fatigue as well. You were really tired. You didn't have energy.
I was always tired, yeah. But now I'd sleep 12 hours, but I can stay awake all day and not sleep at night. That's how much energy I have now, which is nice. I can work out for like days on end, which is a nice feeling.
I think we'll get to that part a little bit later, but
Yeah.
So you obviously got worse before you got better as well. You know, everyone goes
Yeah.
through that, and I think you stick
When you get worse, though, you feel like, oh no, this isn't working.
Yeah,
But
that's right. But you just you hung in there, Jasmeen, and
yeah.
like you really understood what you needed to do,
Mhm.
and that never give up attitude is what really carried you
Mhm.
through the process, and you know that's something to be proud of. And I think you
Mhm.
know it is hard to go through that, and you know you've got to give yourself a pat on the back for that because
Yeah.
you know everyone goes through that. I went through that myself as well, and
Yeah.
you know it was really hard to go through it because for me I didn't even have anyone else to look up to. You know, David Clone
Yeah.
was there, but it was just really hard to talk to him on and off. And also, I didn't have any video testimonials to kind of see,
Mhm.
you know, that other people have gotten over. I
Exactly.
had his book, which was really good, but, you know, it's hard. You know, it's hard. And I think, you know, this is what everyone needs to go through in order to get their body healthy. You can't just, you know,
Exactly.
retoxify your body all the
I
time.
never valued my health until it was gone, right? I never thought how important my health was
I think you have to go through
you
that.
don't you never realize what you had until it's gone. It's true.
Yes,
Like
exactly. Yeah, and I guess, you
it's
know, everyone, you have to go through this feeling of appreciating your life and what it's worth in order
yeah.
to get better as well. And
Mhm.
it's an important part because it makes you love yourself for one and
Mhm.
appreciate yourself.
Yeah.
And you understand that you can't just eat crap all the time because when you're older,
Exactly.
you don't want to be sick. And this
Mm-mm.
is what you're doing. You're short-term grief for long-term relief, and that's what it's about.
Exactly.
You know, you
Exactly.
and now that you're eating this way, you're going to be preventing 14 of the 15 leading causes of death. You know, whether it's heart
Mhm.
disease, diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, Alzheimer's. So many of the diseases today are caused by meat and dairy, and here you are.
Exactly.
You know, going to be preventing all of
Mhm.
those. So you know, that's the power of a plant-based diet, and that's the power of the mind
Mhm.
as well. Your attitude when you were going through the healing was phenomenal. You
It was
know,
all about your mental health. I feel like I had to tell my mind, even though my body wanted something else. My mind, I had to tell myself, like, no, you
yeah,
gotta stick
exactly.
through it, and
Yeah.
that's what really gets you through.
And also, when your body was struggling, your
Mhm.
mind had to be very strong. Your physical was
Yeah.
struggling, but your mind,
Yes.
and that's what got you through. I think that's what really
Mhm.
just carried you through the process. And then you started to see
Mhm.
little improvements. And
Little
what did you
improvements,
do?
which
What
made
did
me
you
very
do?
happy. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do when you
Exactly.
saw those improvements?
It was like a boost to keep going. It
Yeah.
really made me want to stick through it. I used to have very bad depression. I used to be on antidepressants too. I was actually in the psych ward a couple of times
Oh wow.
because of my health. Yeah, I knew it was because of my health that really made my mind feel that way. Your gut and your mind, it's all one, right?
It's all connected.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
that I noticed that I was getting happier over time, and I was like, this is the best feeling ever. I can't quit now. I need everything just to stay this way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I guess you're
yeah, but I've
yeah,
seen videos where you told me you were in the same position, which made me think, wow, he's in the same spot that I was. So it
correct.
wasn't me going through it by myself.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I guess, you know, it is always better to have someone there to kind of support you,
Hmm. Yeah.
and say, look, you know, this is supposed to happen. You're gonna get there.
Hmm.
So I guess that was really good. And so, you know, after the 6 months, what is your life like now? How do you feel? Just explain to people, and obviously what you did detoxified your body, and you feel a million times better than you ever felt before. And just talk to
Yeah.
everyone about it. Yeah, it's
Um. So I was sick pretty much for 13 years. That's how long I was sick for. So I didn't really feel like I had a life. I never had that feeling of having something because I never knew what it felt like, right? So after the 6 months, it was unbelievable. The feeling was just it was great. I can't explain what I feel now. Before it was just every day waking up was just hard because I didn't want to. It felt like a nightmare. Like my dreams were better than reality, and now it's like I don't need dreams. I got reality. That's how amazing my life feels. And every time I go to eat, it's like, wow, I have this option to eat healthy. I can eat bad, but I'd rather not because why would I do that to myself? Um, people ask me if I miss eating unhealthy, and I tell them, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I guess
I don't miss it because there's nothing to miss about it, right? It's not. The smell is not nice anymore. You know.
Well, feeling good.
Your mind was just addicted to something bad. It's a drug. It's so addicting, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I guess feeling good is better than anything tastes.
Yes.
When you get to that amazing feeling, you don't want to go back.
You don't want to come down ever again.
Yeah. And that's why, if you be consistent, if you continue to eat these amazing foods, life is endless. And I guess, you can just keep going. And I think now
I felt like I had limits. Like I had limits. I couldn't do something to it. I only had an extent to something. Right now, I feel like there's no limits to whatever I do. I have more energy. I can achieve more, and it's just my mind. I can achieve. I set limits for myself before because I didn't notice what I had.
Yeah, of course. And so it's an amazing story that you've shared with us. What would you say to anyone watching this video? Any kind of advice or inspirational words for people that are watching or that are wanting to heal themselves as well, or people that are also healing? What would you say to them?
So even if you don't have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, I'd say just try it. Just do it. There's nothing wrong in bettering your health. I wouldn't stay taking medicine. I wouldn't keep taking medicine just because it's comfortable. That spot is comfortable for you. You have to step out of your comfort zone, or else you won't notice what you can have. There's many options that you could take instead of medication, but I wouldn't be scared. I just do it. There's a lot. There is fear. I used to be scared of taking, a different route, but there's no straight route to anything, right? There's different options, and you got to experiment. So
for sure, and I think this is. This is something. I mean, the plant-based diet is a very generalized diet, and it's nothing crazy. You're just eating more fruits and vegetables. And
I feel like people are scared because there's so much on social media. Oh, a plant-based diet is not healthy. I've heard that a plant-based diet, it's early death, which is mind-blowing, which is crazy. It scares me that people are getting misinformation like that.
Well, you're only nourishing your body.
Get protein deficiency without meat, that you won't have calcium without milk. It's untrue. It's not true.
So any last words for people, I guess? I mean, if they're wanting to join the program, or, what would you say to them?
Even if you're skeptical, or your brain's telling you to do it, and then another part of you is telling you not to do it, really just do it. It's your fear that's stopping you. Just try it out. There's nothing wrong in trying something out. If it's not for you, you'll find out, which there's nothing wrong with trying out different options. You can't go wrong. So
yeah, for sure. And I guess you're reaping the benefits now.
Exactly, yeah.
And you worked hard to get to where you are now, and it's an amazing journey that you've been through. And I guess it's thank you for sharing your story, because you now have a life after colitis, and many more years to come. And Jasmeen has done an amazing job, and she's obviously working out and doing a lot with her training. So you can check her out. I'll post the link to her Instagram down below.
Working out actually made me feel safe. Actually, it's something I had to cling on to that made me feel like I had something there that was going to help me better my life. So
yeah, for sure. Everything. It's not only diet. So the mind has a massive role to play. The diet has a massive role to play. Exercise has a role to play. You can't just sit on your ass doing nothing.
Exactly.
The body is made to move, and we need to move it. But yeah, once again, I appreciate you coming onto our YouTube channel and sharing your story. It was amazing, and wish you all the best for the future. And if I'm ever in Canada, I will definitely come see you.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, sorry, someone's calling me. But yeah, all the best, and we'll speak to you again soon, no doubt. And don't be a stranger. And if you have any other things, any questions, concerns, just please feel free to email. And yeah, I wish you all the best, and thank you for being a friend as well.
Yeah, no, of course. Keep in touch.
All right, see ya.
Yeah.